Can you walk us through what makes your program unique and how it is helping entrepreneurs win life-changing deals? I think we just touched base on that with regards to the 11 people had their name in the hat, and this individual was able to win the contract.
So in the industry, within the government contracting industry, the industry average for small business winning government contracts is 20%. My industry average, my team and my industry average is 74%.
Your message equals your $1 million anthem. You don't have a sales problem. You have a message problem. If your words don't captivate, they don't convert. I have helped Grammy-winning artists craft unforgettable songs, and now we help entrepreneurs just like you craft your business messaging that actually sells.
You don't need more hustle. You need the right strategy. I help scale multi-million-dollar companies, and we can show you exactly how to systemize, scale, and dominate the market without drowning in the grind. Welcome to the Conquer Club podcast.
Welcome everybody to the Conquer Club podcast. Kevin and I, we're sitting down with this powerhouse in business and strategy for government contracting. Hello, with over 2 decades of experience. Melinda has helped clients, hold for your total here, guys, generate over 4.4 billion. Yes, that's B as in bougie, billion in new business. She is the creator of the $1 million contracts and is passionate about helping service-based business owners diversify their revenue and scale sustainably and secure life-changing government contracts. If you have ever wondered how to land your first government contract or add a steady stream of income to your business, this episode is for you. Ladies and gentlemen, Melinda Colon.
Woo-hoo. Thank you for having me, Stouts. Thank you so much. I appreciate being here. So happy to have fun with y'all.
Oh, we're excited to have you. And I'm just going to tell you, before we start with the questions, one of the things that I never knew this world even existed until you and one other gal that I met. And I thought, man, what a beautiful treasure this is for so many businesses. So I know Kevin wants to start with a couple questions. And,
absolutely. Melinda, thank you so much for being here. And Ton and I always enjoy all of our guests, and you are actually just a special guest to us. One, we've got to know you over the last year or so, but also what you're doing for so many lives out there. But so welcome to the Conquer Club. We know that you've helped businesses secure over 4.4 billion. Yes, that is B, and in contracts. So incredible achievement. Can you start off by taking us back to the start of your journey? What in the world led you into this space? And was there any defining moments that certainly helped shape your path?
Oh gosh, I love this question. It brings me back to a time where I was working in corporate America, Snorville, okay? And trying to just do the job. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of 9 to 5, clock in, clock out. And a part of my job was to help submit proposals. They didn't call it government contracting because, that's how they like to hide under the surface, is not tell you what it really is that you're doing, but just keep doing it. You're doing great. We're growing and we're winning work, and the team is growing like exponentially larger than I could have ever anticipated or imagined. And I was at one specific story I'll share with you. I was at a meeting with my executive boss and another executive for another firm. And it was the three of us, and we're sitting on the 50th floor in downtown Atlanta, overlooking the entire skyline and having this amazing conversation. I mean, right out of like Mad Men, right? Just leaning back in the chairs, talking and discussing. And I'm strategizing about a government contract. Well, now I know it's called that, right? And I remember the gentleman was talking to me directly, and he said, what is it going to take for you to work for me in front of my boss?
Whoa.
Like, what?
That's bold.
And so exactly, Kevin, I was shocked. So I
Mm.
just giggled it off, and I thought, okay, he must be joking. But the two of them just started arguing, and I thought to myself, I sat back and I'm like, wait a minute, there is something more that meets the eye. You've ever been in that situation where you can see that people value something you don't value yet, and it is really profitable.
Mm. Yeah. Yes. I mean, that I'm still I'm blown away. I know we've had a few conversations before this interview, but this is what I want. I mean, listen, the guy who wanted to hire you, I get it, after meeting you. And I'm sure your clients, when they come into your vortex, have got to, I mean, it's not only are you special to work with, but you're changing their lives.
That's right.
Right.
You're changing their lives. So what a great story of a great beginning. So they say that success leaves clues, and you've developed a proven system, obviously, with 4.4 billion. And for securing these government contracts, again, that a lot of people don't even know exist, right? So what are the first three steps, Melinda, that you think an entrepreneur should take if they want to tap into this revenue stream? I know that you may have more than three steps, but what's that look like for somebody who maybe already knows what this business is or maybe they don't know what it's like?
Yes. So before I get into the first three steps, just know, I want your audience to understand that government contracting is not a get rich quick scheme. It has been around for over 248 years. Okay. It is not stopping anytime soon. And so I want to preface with that because, like you said, success leaves clues. We start to see what is working in government contracting, and we could leverage that to win contracts for our business. Let's go.
Let's
So,
go.
That's right.
step one is prepare. Like, now I like to use the analogy going on a vacation. Like, I mean, where do you guys want to go on vacation? Where do you guys want to go?
Bora Bora.
Oh, let's go, Barbara.
I better write that down.
You better get that right. Tickets booked by the end of this episode, by the way. So we're going to Bora Bora. And what's the first thing we're going to do? We're going to prepare. We're not going to just get on a plane and go. We wanted to make sure that we're going to make the most of the experience as possible. We're going to make sure that we're checking all of the dots, or dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's, in order to have this great experience, a good outcome to us planning to go to Bora Bora. So number one is prepare. We want to prepare with a goal in mind. What are we trying to accomplish? There is so much opportunity, thousands of government contracts that are issued on a regular basis. So you're talking hundreds of thousands of opportunities, and a lot of them, Tanya, don't even get answered. They don't even get responded to. So because of this, there's this recurring contract that comes out over and over again. Majority of consulting or service-based businesses have this, where a contract will come out, and then there's an opportunity to renew or extend the contract 3, 4, 5 years at a time. Now, I mean, just imagine, like, doesn't that break your brain a little bit? It's like, wait, what? I can just submit one contract and win years at a time for one contract.
Wow.
I know several of my clients, they stack contracts. So they'll do, 15, 20, 30 at a time, and they're stacking contracts. They can,
Wow.
if you're thinking about growing a business, this is a cheat code. This is
Wow.
a secret they don't want you to know about.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so Melinda, you had said your mind, it's a mind break or a brain break, right? A brain break. So you've gone through step one. I don't want to lose the flow that you've already started. So tell us what step two is.
So step two is to target. We want to know who is going to buy what from us, right? Just like we do business now. So we want to know the clients that are buying, who the competitors are in that marketplace, like who our partners are that are specific. Because the more specific we get, the clearer our journey is. A lot of people think that we have to, when you're starting out in business, what do? You try to go wide, right? You try
Yeah.
to like serve everyone, and it just seems really hard, and you're not converting anybody, and it's just so challenging. But as we start to get established in business, we know better. We're learning that we need to niche down and use specific language to attract the right audience. Well, it's exactly the same thing in government contracting. We want to make sure that we're talking their language. Every single department has a different language, a different mission, a different vision, like Department of Labor,
Mm-hmm.
right? Department of Education, Department of Defense, right?
Mm.
Different initiatives for each one. So we'll want to know what that is before we get to step three, which is strategize. It's like taking step one, prepare,
Yeah.
and where we register, get certified, we know the end goal that we're looking to reach. We know step two, the target. So who are we trying to target? Who are our partners in business? Who are we competing with? And
Mm.
then now we know our differentiator for strategy. We know how to come in with the spear, or we come in with like a helmet, or do we turn a different color? Like we want to stand out from everyone else
Right.
and
Yeah.
make sure the client knows that we are the one to beat.
Mm. So good.
That is. That
Yeah.
is good stuff. Um, so Melinda, many business owners, they think government contracts are only for the big corporations.
Mhm.
And some of the biggest myths about government contracts, uh, why is it actually untapped gold mine for small businesses? What is it that they think it only can happen for the big corporations, where
Mm.
yet these small business and small corporations can take advantage of basically the same type of opportunities?
Oh, let's get real friends. Okay.
Let's get real.
Okay. Because, at the end of the day, I love what you guys are doing. Okay. Conquerpreneur is about legacy building, but it's also knowing how to do it with the Lord, right? To focusing
Mhm.
on the core of why we're here, our purpose, really what that is, and how do
Mm,
we share it with the world.
Yeah.
And the world will tell you otherwise. The world will
Yeah.
tell you that if you're an artist, we don't have nothing for you. You'll be broke for the rest of your life.
Mm.
If
right.
you are a writer, oh, forget that, and all of these lies. And so I really believe that there was some type of message that was shared at one point with contractors or businesses about government contracting, and they realized, whoa, this is
Mm.
a sweet spot here. I don't know if we want to have a whole bunch of competitors in the marketplace. I don't
Right.
know if that's really going to benefit me. Let me keep quiet and be greedy and really just focus on what's important to me. And I talk about being an artist, being a copywriter, being a musician. It's because these are the contracts that the government is buying on a regular basis. I mean, have you ever been to an airport and you see a piano? I know there's one in Houston. And if you've ever been to
Nashville.
Nashville,
They
right?
have, yeah. Music.
It's just like there's music, the artists, the art on the walls, sculptures that are in airports. Those
Right.
are
Yeah.
government contracts. Like they're
Mm.
contracted to
Wow.
facilitate those services, those products from local and state businesses. So
Wow.
I mean, there's so much opportunity right where you're
Goodness.
standing. We pass abundance on our way
Mm.
onto a plane. Like how does
Mm.
that happen? So the reason I believe it's happening is because there's greed, right? And so my
Yeah.
job, my goal, my purpose, I believe, is to get this message out, to share it with other people. Because like you said, Kevin, a lot of people think, well, I got to be a big business to win government contracts.
Right.
Did you know that the government is required by law to set aside small business contracts in the tune of trillions of dollars?
That's
Excuse
what I
me,
was going to
billions
ask
of
you. Are you
dollars,
able to
hundreds of
disclose
billions
that
of dollars,
number? So
$600
trillions of
billion.
dollars are out there for small businesses, and
Yeah,
that money just sits there
just
because
sits there.
the small businesses think we're not big enough.
Yeah.
Wow.
There are companies, so third party companies that actually are brokers for the government in some instances, like commercial real estate. What? The government is buying properties? Yes, they're leasing properties too. So I haven't come across an industry where the government is not buying from.
Wow. That is if for all the listeners out there, for them to have just that little nugget would be worth their 25, 30 minutes of listening in on some of the knowledge you're sharing with the audience here. The fact that small businesses have that same opportunity, that is some powerful, powerful information.
And what you said, Melinda, it's just this, like it's been hidden, but you have unhidden it. You uncovered it. It's no
Right.
longer hiding. What you have done is, it's kind of like hide and seek. You have it is no longer hidden because you already have this all figured out. And the only people, all if somebody's listening to this right now, one of our listeners, excuse me, they don't have to seek and try to figure it all out themselves, because you've already figured it out. So you get to walk alongside of them and show them exactly how it's done, because this is what your expertise is.
Mm.
So every listener that's listening, or every entrepreneur, has a conquer moment
Yeah.
where they had to step into the next thing. They had to step up and face a big challenge,
Yeah.
possibly in their current business, or maybe it's a business they want to step into. So, Melinda, what was your biggest challenge from, or in building your government gun, I call it your GovCon empire, and how did you push through that? Because for a lot of our listeners, maybe they're at the top of the ladder in a corporation, or maybe they've already switched into these nets, as I like to say, entered the nets. How did you push through a
Yeah.
big challenge? How did you conquer it
Mm.
in your transition? You know, a lot of people
Yeah.
have that
It's
pivot moment.
mhm.
Yeah.
It is. It is. It was what pushed me through from transitioning to a job
Mm.
to a purpose was really stepping into God's identity for me.
Mm.
And that required a lot of letting go of parts that no longer served me.
Ooh.
It's kind of like a rocket. When a rocket takes off on the ground to go into orbit, what does it have to do? It has to shed
Mm.
pieces and parts of itself because
Oh, that's
it
good.
can't take itself into orbit. It has to, and once it's in orbit, there's very little energy that is
Mm.
required to make the entire loop. So I really believe that that's what happened is I had to let go of things that were heavy, holding me down, weighing me down, and a lot of that had to do with my belief in my identity. You
Oh,
know, am I worthy of millions of dollars? Because that's really what we're talking about here, right? Six,
yes.
seven, eight figure. I just had literally before this podcast recording, I received an email from a client. We just started working together a few months ago, and they won their first government contract. And it's a $7.5 million contract. And the itemal was two sentences, really simple. It was like, hey, I just want to let you know we got awarded. Thank you so much. I have gone through this iteration before with clients. This is their first, they're still in shock. Like 7.5 million, what? Right. And then after a while, we'll talk to each other and then they start getting excited. But that's the permission that they give themselves.
Yeah.
And so that's where it was for me, is giving myself permission
Mm.
to see that, to accept it and receive it, because
Oh,
that's really where we're supposed to be, right? Is
Right.
accepting and receiving abundance. We can't ask for abundance and then not
mm.
receive it. We have to be on the receiving and
Oh,
accepting end.
That's double-minded.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
It's the double-mindedness. Gosh, okay. We could just sit here for a moment and the listeners could just sit in that for a moment. I know we can't pause that long, but I really want to, because I'm processing right now. It's the pruning. The Bible talks about pruning in order to bear the fruit. And
Yes.
like you said, the stuff that's not serving you anymore, it keeps things dead on the vine.
Yes.
And because of what your identity, you said, it was so beautifully said that we have to receive
Yes.
before. I mean, if we're praying for a solution, God, we're praying for abundance. And then he's like, I got something for you. And in fact, I got somebody who can help you in the process, like you, Melinda. How amazing is that? How amazing is that? Thank you. We could camp on that, but we got to keep rolling. So,
I know. Well, I will say this. Let's stay on that topic, and kind of transitioned into our mindset. And you talk
Mhm.
about the belief, and we have to be able to receive, and it's all there.
Yes.
So we do know a lot of entrepreneurs. They tend to hesitate that about government contracts, and the first thing would be is like, I don't think I'm big enough, or I don't know how it works. So, but
Yeah.
what mindset shift do
Yes.
they need to have for them to stop playing small
mm,
and really go after and receive those $1 million contracts?
Mm. So, a part of my prayer in the morning, every single morning, is, Lord, allow me to be aware of how you flow in this moment, today, and always, because I know you move in all the ways you decide to move. So
Mm,
we might have an imagination, like a visualization of how we're going to be receiving, right? But God is
right.
like, you can receive however. I am God. You cannot control that in your mind. You are just human. So I like to remind myself that on a daily basis. So
mm,
it does start with mindset, because the opportunities are there. They're everywhere. It is simple. Once you're in, you're in. And it's simple. It's so simple. Like, I don't know
mm.
what other word to use to define that. And it just starts with mindset. It is the mindset. Are you going to do the work to get there? Oh, the paperwork, Melinda. You know, to buy a house requires more paperwork than winning a government contract.
Wow.
Okay. So
Gosh.
that's not good enough. Well, I don't like to do business with the government. I don't like the government. Well, government
Mm,
contracts are your tax dollars being returned to you to improve the economy. So
Mm.
by not accepting it, right, knowing and being aware of an opportunity available to you, you are literally being a part of the problem instead of being a part of the solution.
Wow.
mm,
Can you imagine what type of impact and influence you can do now opposed to
Mm.
delay when you have a contract, when you have multiple contracts coming to your business, not
right.
just your company that is,
Mm.
flourishing, but families, your team, your
Oh,
community, so
wow.
much, so much.
Look at those three things you just said: family, team, and your community. Talk
Mm.
about making a difference. And again, it goes back to, this is available to all of us. We just don't know where or how to get to it. Is what is what the biggest hurdle is.
Hmm.
Yes, yes.
So, so many things I could say to that. You were saying, you kept saying the word always a couple of times, Melinda. And I know that at one point in my conquering journey, uh, how many of you who are listening have ever heard or seen the word in the Bible always, just like ALWAYS? And just one morning when I was reading that, God was like, it's not just always, as in forever, but it's also always,
Yes. So
ALLWAYS.
good.
And so you
So good.
are helping people always, like literally their legacy, like you said, family, their community, and all in all ways. In
Yes.
all ways, because it one of my favorite quotes is, or I say this quote, I read it somewhere, maybe not exactly this quote, but where there's a waterfall,
Yes.
everybody gets splashed. And so
Mm.
you have this waterfall of information, and
Yes.
anybody that comes into your vortex gets
Mm.
splashed. And then look at it, it ripples and flows out, like you just said, and comes back around.
Yes.
So, what do you think is a common mistake, Melinda, that business owners, when they first step into the government contracting space,
Yeah.
what's one common mistake, and how can they avoid it?
Mm. Rushing.
Mm,
So I'll give you an example. You might go online, go to sam.gov and see an RFP, get really, really excited, and you immediately say, I'm gonna submit a proposal without doing step 1 and 2. You go
Mm.
straight to strategize,
mm,
and then you go straight to submit. And then you wonder, why did you lose? Why didn't you win? Oh, well, I guess it doesn't work. Government contracting isn't for me. So in the industry, within the government contracting industry, the industry average for small business winning government contracts is 20%. My industry average, my team and my industry average is 74% with this system.
Mm.
So I don't know about you. I don't want to lose 8 out of 10 times. I want to win 8 out of 10 times. Okay.
mm.
So it's rushing. It's like we have to slow down and have a plan, right? There was a reason why, and I recently heard someone on a podcast talk about this. There's an order and a sequence to
Mm.
things, and how God created things was in a specific sequence.
That's right.
So this system that I have, this $1 billion blueprint system that I call the GovCon sales strategy, is intentional. It's a sequential order for you to simplify the process, right? So that other people might say, oh, it's too complicated, but you know better, and you can be their guide. You can be their support so that you're an example of what's possible.
Mm.
If we can do that more, that's the goal here. It's oh man, can you imagine what children, like your listeners' children, are going to do with their lifetime? They're never going to have a concern about poverty. Poverty will be completely broken from that bloodline completely,
That's
because
right.
there won't be any concern for it. So
Mm.
it's just something that we have to decide to take our time, be patient, just like the seasons. We have to do
Yeah.
things in a specific order so that we can reap the benefits.
So good.
Wow.
Whew.
So patience. I
Yes.
heard patience, and you used the word simple or simplified. And again, it's about communicating or consulting with the right individual. And I know that's what you help many, many people with. So that's very, very good advice in regards to avoiding it. If I can save 5 years off of a process because someone else has already been down that path, I'm all about it. And there's value there all day long. So you, obviously scaling is a huge focus for you and your team. Um, in regards to scaling, what are the top 3 systems that every business owner would
Yeah.
be, or you would encourage to put into place to ensure that their
Yeah.
business is indeed, regardless if they're a large corporation or small corporation, ready to handle
Mm.
a government
Ooh.
contract?
So my 3 Ds: decide, delegate, and delete. Decide, delegate, delete. Decide. That's
Wow.
one of the biggest challenges that I find with coaching clients when I'm starting with them, is making a decision. I even had a call with someone who said, I actually just put it into ChatGPT and asked them how to make a decision. Making a decision actually really just puts our feet in the right direction, regardless of the outcome. Like we're just going full throttle right in this direction. Delegate. So as business owners, as entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants, we have to be really thoughtful about how we're using our time, because we're usually in the creative mode. We're building relationships. We're being strategic about our time. We want to spend time with our families and do the things that we want to do with the money that we were able to earn. And we have to delegate. We have to learn how to delegate appropriately. It's really, really important, whether it be to AI or to people on your team. It frees you up and it allows more flow, right? It's kind of like the blood flows through the system. The system is set up so that there's flow in your business and you could continue to consume greatness and give greatness back to your team. And then the third step is delete. If it doesn't fit within the goals and it doesn't fit within this current timeline, remove it. And that's really hard to do. It's usually the last step that I recommend because it's hard to do. You might think to yourself, well, I have to have everything buttoned up. I've come across websites like in my 2-day workshop, we actually go through the step-by-step process of putting together a proposal. And this recent one, one of our students actually looked up a competitor, and we were doing some lurking because that's a part of Target, is knowing who's in the market. And she pulled up the name, and so we Googled it, share screen, everything. And the website homepage was a selfie. Was it fancy? No, it was simple. It was straightforward. There was probably a Wix website. I mean, really basic. But this is something that a lot of business owners think that we need to have in order to win government contracts. We need to look buttoned up. We need to look like $1 billion business. We need to have everything perfect. We need to delete those ideas and just stay focused on lean activities. The more lean we are, the more we can focus on what really matters most. Right?
Wow.
So, that is fantastic. Obviously, the 3Ds is powerful. I'm going to agree that the last one's probably the most important and the most difficult, because you have so many, I'll say, balls up in the air that you're trying to manage. And if you just eliminate the ones that are slowing you down or weighing you down or don't have much value, that is some great advice there, young lady.
Thank you.
Yeah. And how many people who are listening, just like you said, you think you have to have this all souped up, button up, bougie website, when in actuality, like you said, in the first D is decide, which we know means to cut off. The word decision, right? To make a decision means to cut off all options.
Yes.
And you decide. So, excuse me. So the government contracts, I know they can sound intimidating. Like just hearing that word can sound intimidating to people.
Yes.
And I know you shared a story of a client that just so happened to be on the day we are recording this, but can you tell us maybe of one of your clients' stories who maybe transformed their business completely by securing their first contract, or maybe it did change the legacy? Do you have a memorable story of one of your clients that you could give us a Cliff Note version of?
Yes. Oh my gosh,
question.
so many. But I'm going to share with you one of our David and Goliath stories. So one of our clients, she was at the time maybe 100K a year, right? Just small outfit, just her, solopreneur. And she called me up one day and she said, I want to win this RFP, but I don't know if I should submit on it. We went through my system. Specifically, we have checklists and all that stuff. And she decided to move forward. Well, just less than 30 days later, she was able to win a $1.4 million contract for her business, and going up against, get this, 11 competitors.
Wow.
What?
So yeah, 11.
Because of your secret sauce, would you say, I know
100%.
you're not going to quote unquote brag on yourself, but
Yeah.
had she tried to do that on her own, let's just be honest, would she have probably not beat those 11 other competitors?
I don't believe so, Tanya.
Yeah.
And because they're all established companies with teams. She was the only solopreneur. Her price was exactly in alignment with everyone else. This was the only shift was the strategy. It was all that was different. So
Wow.
so it has, so this tells you that anyone can do it, but we have to do it right. We have to do things right.
That's good. So
That is
good.
so good. That's so good. Well, that's impressive. There's 11. I'm still that kind of put me at a stop here. But so in regards to you helping create $1 million contracts
Yeah.
to help business owners navigate this amazing space that we don't know about,
But we do now.
we do now, people. Can you walk us through what makes your program unique and how it is helping entrepreneurs win life-changing deals? I think we just touched base on that with regards to the 11 people had their name in the hat, and this individual was able to win the contract.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, no, I think just to add to that would be the hand-holding guidance. So it's not just a 2-day workshop, but it's also, guidance and support for 30 more days, or be a part of our community for as long as you need to. And knowing that someone is going to be by your side until you start winning. And then you're just good. Like, you're just good. You're not alone. This is a brand new world. You can't be alone in this. Like, you need someone who is going to understand the pain and is going to be able to guide you through it, that has already done it time and time and time and time again in the industry. Yeah.
Do you see why we have Melinda Colon on? She makes everybody smell good.
Oh my God.
Everybody. But no, truly, the little spritz, she's spritzing everybody to smell good. And who wouldn't want to give that person a contract? But no, I mean, honestly, just hearing you say, we're walking alongside of you until you win. What?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's what a true committed coach, a consultant of integrity will walk alongside of you. And like you said, it's new. And, it's like a baby, you're going to hold their hand and they may fall, but they're going to get back up and you're going to hold their hand along the way. So
boo-boo cry and all. I'm just going to pick you up. Let's go. Keep going.
Let's keep going. So before we wrap up, one of the things we're doing at the end of some of our interviews is we want to ask you if you could give one powerful piece of advice. And listen, y'all, these questions are not prepared because we just want it to be as raw and as real as possible, and to encourage and inspire entrepreneurs who are listening. If you could give one powerful piece of advice, Melinda, to an entrepreneur who is ready to conquer whatever their next big business move is, what would you say?
You've been lied to about what the definition of ready is. Ready is taking action when you already have heard from him. Move now. Move now. Don't ready. The world tells you ready, but it's really defined as comfort. So you don't want to get that far. You want to take action immediately. Move immediately with the Lord, and he will guide your steps. Move. Take action.
So good. And we've heard of this. I don't know where it originated from, but it was a pastor, Melinda, and then we've learned it from one of our business coaches. Is the word God, 2/3 of the word God is what, friends?
Go.
Let's go. Ding, ding, ding. I mean, Melinda, it's so good. What a gold piece of advice for somebody who's scared, who's in their comfort zone, who thinks you have to be ready. I think we all do. We stop before the start. And
Yes.
and even the word ready, I wish it was greeny. Like
Yeah.
the word red just automatically comes in your mind, and it's the word red, and it's like the stop of a stoplight.
Oh,
Yes.
But
Tanya,
in
It's good.
so good.
and it's like, no. Don't let that subliminal thought go back to the word red. It's green. Go before you're
Yeah.
ready. God is in it with you. And Melinda Colon, you are the epitome of an incredible entrepreneur, as we like to call you, conquerpreneurs. You are conquering an empire, but not by yourself. You're bringing people with you along the way, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
So, if you
Thank
want to
you.
learn how to land your first or your next government contract, join Melinda's free masterclass. Did you say it's called GovCon Millions, or what's the
Yes.
name of it? GovCon
Yes.
Millions.
Go to govconmillions.com, GovConMillions, GovCon Millions.
Okay. And that's where you're going to show your proven strategy for creating consistent revenue stream with government
Yeah.
contracts. And you can reserve your spot, whoever's listening, and we'll have this all in the show notes. And Kev, I know you like to end this part about loving our episode.
Absolutely. So if you indeed did love this episode, which I don't know why you would not, be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. Share this episode with an entrepreneur who needs to hear this. That would be everyone.
Yes.
Follow us on social media for more inspiring interviews and strategies to help you conquer your business and life. So we like to close with peace in,
Peace out.
Kevin
And Tanya Stout.
Let's
Thanks,
go.
y'all. So, how many of you are ready to conquer your business, your income, and your life? Hit subscribe and join the Conquer Club, and let's start winning together.
Peace in,
Peace out.
Kevin and Tanya Stout.